the under matches that they can. Oh dear, and still Sidebottom's gifting opportunities.
That's when you just...
You know, it's a dirty night. Now it's 50. Poor old Taylor Adams.
He's paid the mark. It's gone 4 metres, hasn't it? That kick. And the Collingwood player went over the mark.
Yeah. End of the game. Can't come quick enough for the Magpies right now. And the lead is beyond 50 points for the 3rd week in a row for the Demons.
Well, if still Sidebottom was kicking that to a teammate that was 4 metres, you can guarantee it would have been called play on. Yeah, it might be 10.
Taylor Adams, he understood exactly what he was doing. The umpire decided that it was going to be the legitimate length if Brodie Grundy marked it, and then when Jake Melcher marked it, he just went with it and blew the whistle. And unfortunately, Taylor Adams read it correctly. But anyway, that's just one of the moments of this game. This is a 51-point margin for 15 goals from Melbourne, and no real pain from an injury point of view.
Yeah, great result.
Just about a perfect night for them.
Well, Gaz, you were as dejected a Melbourne supporter as I've ever heard when we were here for that Port Adelaide game, the last start for Melbourne here at the Gabba. What's the most pleasing aspect of this?
The way they started this game, the dejected commentator I was,
Impartial.
it was the way they started this game, which is what Melbourne people should be most pleased with, is that there's a clear difference in the way they're going about it with ball in hand, and they played a really smart brand of footy, and they got the results.
I love it, Lynchy. No grumpy Gaz today.
Happy Gaz.
51 points the margin. Still time to build. Tosses it up to half forward. Not the best for Viney to try and handle.
Bit of lair-rising, Gaz.
Noble, Pickett, put the pressure on.
There you go, Nick, come on.
Cameron comes away. It's coming back, though.
So as good a night as it's been for Melbourne, it's clearly the opposite for Collingwood. So they've been belted now on the scoreboard, haven't been able to get their game going, and have paid the physical price as well, particularly in the forward half of the ground, which has been an issue for them all year. And since the start of 2018, Collingwood's top 4 forward 50 targets have been Cox, Myercheck, De Goey and Stevenson. So 3 not in the team tonight, and then 1 now facing potentially some time on the sideline in Myercheck.
So Mason Cox is going to get another good look at it, you would imagine. That's where they're at. But you asked the question about premierships. I think that's a mile away right now. Well, they're still in the 8, and they're not going to give that up.
Like most teams, they were premiership favourites at one stage.
No, they were mine early in the year as well. But just the bite that it's taken a toll on its personnel.
Yeah.
You can see it in the way it's playing out here.
Well, it's a makeshift forward line.
And a makeshift defence.
Oh, Wiedemann looked likely for a moment. Dunn, he's battled gamely really back there, Lyndon Dunn. But they have been under severe pressure, and it's not paid a mark, or it is. It is paid a mark.
I wouldn't want to buy real estate off that umpire.
You've probably got enough already as the ball's cleared away. Tomlinson over the top. Jones back inside for Melksham. Salem. Oh, perfect. Sparrow gets another shot for goal.
They're lining up. They're lining up now. And Christian Salem's their best user. It's just, if this keeps going, I mean, the longer this goes, the further it gets apart, because Collingwood have got nothing to come back at. And as we said, you've got one side who are almost injury-free, apart from their big captain, haven't got an issue on the ground at all, and another side beaten up, and it's playing out that way.
Sparrow comes in and delivers another goal.
Goal kickers for the D's. It's a great spread.
That's 4 for the quarter. Unanswered.
Yeah, and this is this is the sort of play that we probably weren't seeing early in the year for them, Gaz.
Well, it's a perfect play if you're the coach of your forwards. If you're the forwards coach there, that's your perfect play. It's just that it happens to be in the last 3 minutes of the game, and it's a 57-point margin, so we don't sort of get too excited about it. But it is your forward 50 your forward group who are refusing to concede an easy out, who force a turnover and then get it in the hands of a bloke that hits the leading forward, the smart hit-up lead. And that's perfect forward play. Just when it's 57 points and it's 3 minutes to go, I'm sure the Melbourne coaching staff won't let it pass, but it's a bit blasé at the moment.
And there's a number, Gaz, that I'm sure you'd like, because they're not rushing things.
So what they're doing is they're getting it right, the balance. There is a time to play on, there is a time to go quick, there is a time to be frantic, but it was 90%. It used to be 90% of their footy was all of that. Now it's... Anyway, the last 3 weeks would indicate that balance has started to be found.
I think Clayton Oliver probably encapsulates that as well as anyone within the team. So a guy that can become really handball happy. So tonight he's had a really even split, 24 disposals, 10 kicks, 14 handballs, but he's kicked the ball with 90% efficiency. And he's actually gone for his kicks at times as well.
16 goals, 4. It's a wonderful efficiency in terms of conversion.
That's what happens when you take your shots from really good spots on the ground.
Yeah, attacks the front of the goal square, you generally kick them.
Jones, in the end, errant hand pass. Opportunity for Taylor Adams, who's kept working away, gets it into Allen up against the post. Around he goes off the left boot. He couldn't have kicked it higher. It's not going to make the distance. Oh, dear. That sort of night for the Pies.
It's a big challenge for Nathan Buckley and his group too now, isn't it? You're away. There's no escaping any of this. There's no escaping Ben Reid around your hub. There's no escaping the Brody Mychek. You're constantly reminded that you're not at full strength. So they're not the only team, mind you, who have to deal with it.
Great initiative from Brayshaw. Saw it coming. Takes it out wide. Now Fritsch linking up with Jones again. And the handballs begin to multiply. Drive and kick Petrarca wasn't his best thought process that time.
Yeah, and Collingwood were as positive as anyone about going into the hubs and the possibility that it presented.
Well, they've always been a good travelling team, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
One of the reasons they were so positive about it all. Actually started well in Perth against Geelong.
Just look at that play there, though. This is a Melbourne team that are still running really hard, and it's going to be important, I think, as this wears on. The gap between those that are beat up and injured or not tracking well and those that are still fit and running out games, I think is going to be pretty profound.
Oh, and again, the Melbourne player able to come hard at the footy. Bruce it was that time. There's enough Melbourne fans together to get the big Bruce sound going.
Melbourne have kicked 16 goals, 1 in the last quarters over the past 3 weeks.
Gone deep to find that one, guys.
Well, yeah, they just turn up every now and then and you just run with them.
So Brayshaw. Now Tomlinson.
There's a bit of non-negotiable about this too from a Melbourne point of view, is that this is a standard that they're set. So the drop-off against Port Adelaide they were condemned harshly for it because it sort of came out of nowhere, that they had almost set a standard for themselves and then dropped and lost it. So the pressure now is to maintain this from a Melbourne point of view. The Western Bulldogs are going to present a much more greater challenge, you would think, next time around. And it's just the standard. Now can they maintain it?
They'll have a week to enjoy this one as they work along the line. Is there time for one last? They've already kicked 4 in the last quarter. There'll be no more, but they have delivered plenty. And hopes are high now for Melbourne fans after what they've seen today. Could they be onto something special in 2020? They have demolished Collingwood by 56 points and strung 3 big victories together in a row.